Hi, I want to welcome everyone back to another episode of Soul Impact, How Music Saved Us. I'm your host, Wild Willie. Today I got with us Dalton Jones with Dalton Jones Music. Dalton, why don't you tell a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I am actually based here out of Jacksonville, Alabama. Born and raised here. It's actually the hometown of big time country artist Riley Green. He lives right up the road from me, and but it's I was born and raised here in Alabama. Lived in Georgia for a little while, and did a lot of things there, work related. And I've been doing music pretty much my whole life. Started doing music when I was 4 years old. My dad was a pastor in church, and we started singing together in church, and really kind of just kept singing from that point on. About 13 years old, I started playing the guitar and kind of taught myself to play, and started playing and singing a little bit, but not very much then. And then over the next several years, I did a lot of music in church. Um, and then over the last year, actually, well, it'll be a year in this August, um, we started playing out and started doing our own music, writing our own songs, and doing those types of things. And it has just been just amazing. Things took off for us, and it's just been really, really awesome to see kind of where things have gone. That's kind of me in a quick, I guess, overview.
Well, that's really cool. Just like I personally, I met you through TikTok, and that is the power of social media. You know, I stumbled across your live on TikTok, and we hung out for half the night. You know,
Right.
so you kind of touched on it a little bit, but for me, and I'm going to kind of give my backstory a little bit. I dealt with a lot of child abuse as a child, and a lot of brokenness in the home. Music was my outlet. I wanted to play so bad, but I couldn't. I mean, I broke my arm, can't turn my arm palm up, so it's kind of hard to play a guitar. I mean, I thought about getting into the steel guitar a little bit. I mean, I think I could handle that, but uh, so music's been my outlet. It's been my saving grace. Even through my divorce 2 years ago, that has been my thing that kept me grounded. I mean, so can you tell me a time where music has just kind of been that I'm at the end of my rope? Kind of go in detail a little bit. Not you don't have to go in deep into it unless you want to.
Yeah.
But hit on one time where there's that music has been that thing that pulled you out of that darkness.
Yeah. So, music, I have undiagnosed adult ADHD, like 100%. I'm a Mr. Do It All kind of guy. And music has really always been the one thing that has stuck with me throughout my life. I've picked up thousands of hobbies, got really good at it, got bored with it, and was like, all right, let's go to the next thing. And music has always kind of been the one thing that's stuck with me throughout all of that. And I will say several years ago when I first it wasn't really when I first started playing the guitar, but it was really kind of when I first started playing the guitar and singing and doing that together. And kind of went through a pretty rough situation. Um, my oldest daughter, she was, in long story short, she was kidnapped from me when she was born, and it I went through a pretty dark time there. It's kind of a pretty rough patch. Never saw any specialists or anything about it, but I'm pretty positive it was kind of, I guess, what you'd call a mild depression. And um, just was really hard, really tough. Was in a dark place, and I music was kind of what kept me going through all that. I would play music, sing and do different things. I would do karaoke. And it was really all just because I was just heartbroken. Being a dad was one thing that I always looked forward to, and um, I was blessed to have a really, really awesome dad, a really good father, and so that was something I always wanted to do, was to be just half as good as what he was, and still is today. And I had that taken from me, and so it was pretty dark, pretty rough for me. And thankfully, between music, and then about a year and a half, almost 2 years after my daughter was born, I met my wife, and she and I ended up, dating, and then we got engaged and got married, and we'll be married 10 years this year. And so, between her and her coming along and what I did for music, then we actually met doing karaoke. And so karaoke was kind of my thing. That was what I did. I would go and sing at all the karaoke bars, and if you name it, if they did karaoke, I would go there and do it. And it was almost several night a week thing. And so, to go from that into kind of what we do now with getting to play shows every weekend and multiple nights a week, it's just been pretty insane to be a part of, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, and not that you went through that, but awesome that music was able to help you overcome that. I mean, and that's the thing about music, I was raised on the older country, Waylon Jennings, Conway Twitty. That I, Not that I'm not knocking music today, but and I think that's what drew me to you, is you
Right.
actually, when I listened to you play, and yeah, you did covers, but you have that natural raspiness in your voice. And I'm
Right.
sure you probably have heard that a lot. And I'm not, but that natural raspiness is what people has, in my opinion, and I think is what's missing from music these days. I really do. Is everybody just tries to polish the tar out of it, and
I can agree with that.
you know. But I will say this: if you're ever in Missouri, I happen to be a karaoke DJ. Let me know. I'll let you know where I'm at. Okay.
Absolutely, man. It's so funny. I was watching a video that somebody shared. I was on one of the socials. I was the last couple. I think it was actually yesterday. My wife showed it to me as well, but it was an older video of Wyatt Flores. I don't know if you like Wyatt Flores or listen to his music, but he's phenomenal. Oklahoma guy, and he was singing karaoke at this random little karaoke bar, and he was singing Tyler Childers of all people. And my wife she got ganged up on by all the folks on the post, because she said, "Holy crap, he sounds more like Tyler Childers than Tyler Childers does." And of course, all the Tyler Childers fans were like, "How dare you say that?" but it is. I think karaoke is amazing. It just brings so many different people together, and whether they really all musical taste, because there's not a night that I have done karaoke where I didn't go from hearing a rap song to heavy metal to country to classic rock to blues to soul. I mean, you name it. I mean, you're going to hear it in a night of karaoke playing. So that's one of my favorite things about it.
Well, like I said, if you ever in my neck of woods, back in the backwoods of Missouri, uh, look up Backwoods Production. I'll gladly give you some karaoke time. I mean,
Heck yeah, man. I love it.
I don't even care if I got a gig somewhere. I mean, I own my own equipment. We'll throw
We'll
it
set it
up.
up in the backyard.
We'll throw it up, and we'll have a impromptu Tyler Jones concert. Okay, or
Heck
Dalton
yeah.
Jones. Sorry,
It's all
uh,
good.
I was talking too fast to miss my words. But we'll have an impromptu Dalton Jones concert in my backyard. All right.
Hey, that'd be okay with me. I love those, man. There's nothing better
Uh,
than those campfire pickings or backyard sittings. Man, I love doing that stuff.
oh yeah. So is there a? And I know you write. I mean,
Hmm.
is there a song that you have written that has probably been one of the toughest songs to write because of the emotion that goes into it? But in the long run, by writing that song, it's giving you the most healing.
I would say, so I've written almost a full album now. We've got nine songs put together, which we're actually going to be in the studio here and have we should have some good music coming out. I imagine it should be coming out here in the next month or two. Um, but it's um, I would say out of all the songs I've written so far, I wrote one about my grandfather, and he was my pop. We called him Papa, and he he was one of my best friends. I mean, he and I, we always just we were so much alike. We're both goofballs. We love to have fun and cut up and have big hearts, and we just love to love people. That's just how we are. And um, he was kind of the rock of that side of our family, and so he passed away about 3 years, a little over 3 years ago, and he had a terminal lung disease, and it took him from us, but. I wrote a song about him, and when we lost him, my family, it was hard. It was really hard, um, just because of the weight that he held in our family. And so when I wrote that song about him, it's called "Happy Right Where He's At," and it's long story short, that song is just telling the story about him. And I actually told true stories about he and I together when I was a kid in that song, and then singing it, and then really the whole story behind the song is that I would love to have him back here, but I know he's happy right where he's at. And so that one was hard. It was hard to write. It was really hard to sing the first couple of times, and I'll be honest with you, I wrote that song, and I think I have actually played and sang it maybe 3 times since then. And it's not because I don't think it's a good song or anything like that. It's just so hard. It's just really hard. So, um, but I would say that one by far has probably been the hardest one so far.
So let me ask you this: do you have that one on audio?
I have it rough video recording audio. So I think there's actually a video of it on my TikTok. You can go and check it out. I don't even remember exactly when I post it. I think it's on TikTok. I know it's on one of the socials, Facebook or TikTok. Um, but it's on there. I've got several all of the songs that we have written. I have
I
done
know you
some form.
performed one that night on TikTok. I do remember that.
I've played
Hey, did
almost. Go ahead.
speaking of which, did you get all them songs wrote that you owe?
Gosh, man, I started working on a couple, dude, and oh my lord, man, that was insane. That was insane. I think by the end of the night, I was supposed to write like 20 something
It was
songs.
26 songs, and you
Yeah,
were
I was
supposed
like,
to owe like what was it, 48 covers or something like that?
well, dude, we played. So that stream was over 6 hours long. I mean, it was insane how long that live stream was. And I think I took one pee break the whole time. I was just, and the next couple of days, man, my voice was like, how dare you?
Yeah,
Like,
you and that lemon juice though. You and that lemon juice.
oh man. Yeah, that I'll tell you, lemon juice is my saving grace sometimes when it comes to singing. I'll get, that my voice will get, a little too scratchy, and I can just drink some of that and it'll make you feel a lot better. They say it's not good for you to drink a lot of it, which I don't, but in
I,
instances like that, I kind of got to.
I bet you, for I seen you drinking it like it was tequila shots. Okay.
Oh man, I love it. Hey, I love it. It's and I guess we used to joke. My One of my daughters, when she was a baby, I mean, I'm talking like infant. Like she would get a whole lime or a slice of a lime or a slice of a lemon and just eat it and never make a face. Like wouldn't even bat an eye. Most kids, they bite it, they all just prune up. She just would just take a big chunk out of it and like, this is good. I said, well, I guess I know where you got that from. I hear yours laughing in the background.
Yeah.
Kids are
Oh,
great, man.
oh, they are. Give me just a second.
Are you good?
she'll be 3. Oh, she turns 3 in September. So
Hey, I have my youngest. She's 2. She'll be 3 in December. My middle daughter's 5, and my oldest is 13. So I
so,
know it all to an
so
all
listen,
girls.
this is something I don't. This is something I typically don't talk to a whole lot, but I actually have more kids. But I had a bad marriage, and we lost our kids. I mean, I'm not going to go in detail,
Yeah,
and that was something you hit on depression earlier and losing your kids. Just for a year and a half, I was like, a dad is all I wanted to be. I quit truck driving so I could become a family man.
right,
And after 10 years to see my ex-wife, she had 3 kids when we got together. And then we have 6 together so we have 9 altogether. And but when I lost my kids, it was like, who am I? And then I got divorced, and it was like, man, I was downward spiral. Well, I had we had my daughter, and I fought for her. I mean, I'm not going to go in detail. I'm not trying to blast anybody. That's not me. But
yeah,
um, I wouldn't trade it anything in the world. She started Head Start this year, and I, some days it's hard, because like she doesn't want daddy to leave, and them songs, like you're talking about when you hear a song, like the way it just resonates with your soul, and
right,
you know, one of my favorite songs is a Rascal Flatts song, "What Hurts the Most." I've loved
right.
the song from the very first time I heard it, but then when I went through my divorce, that song was like, whoa! Now I understand what it felt like.
Mine has walked up here too. 1 second. Sorry, that was my 5-year-old. She wants to
You're
see her
good,
mom.
buddy. You're good. That's what this is about. It's the rawness of it. I want people to see people like you, people like me, because I am getting out there in the podcast world. I really am. Um, I started June 28th was my first episode. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
So, and the first, was it the first? Middle of last month, I was only sitting at 900 views.
right.
I checked it this morning. I'm up to over 10,000 views.
That's awesome, dude.
So, I mean,
That's
and
awesome.
you got to believe in yourself. And I mean,
Absolutely.
as a, as someone I'm a DJ, sound guy, karaoke person, So, this is me extending the olive branch here. If you ever want to come to Missouri and do a show and don't want to travel equipment, let me know. We'll
Heck
definitely
yeah.
work something out. Uh,
I I will definitely keep that in mind, man. And one thing I have found since I started doing music and everything, and you're talking about people supporting you, is that, and she's going to come back and say hey with us again. But one of the things that I have found is that people don't support you until they do, and that's just the reality. Like with your podcast, like with my music, um, for whatever reason, people just don't support you until they do, and then when they do, it's like they come in groves, man. I mean, it's just like you can say hello really quick, but we're chatting. This is we're chatting. But
but
in all seriousness, I mean, that is the biggest thing, is that you can go, and if you don't believe in yourself, number one, who's going to believe in you? And
exactly.
number two, you can promote yourself and do this and do that until the cows come home. All it takes is for the right person at the right time to see your stuff and say, man, I really enjoyed that. Next thing you know, they start sharing, just like meeting you.
Yeah,
And
that was a coincidence. Oh, okay, I don't believe in coincidence. I'm religious. Not everybody is. I believe it was a God thing. Just happened to come across you at that moment when I couldn't sleep. ended up staying on for 6 hours.
Right, right. No, hey, and that's everything does happen for a reason. And, we've had some really awesome experiences. I have met some of the most awesome people since I started doing music. And, it's been so, so cool. From adults to little kids who come up and just love my music, man. I can remember the first time I played a show and a little girl and her friend came up and were like, "Can we have your autograph?" And they wanted me to sign their Crocs. They had Crocs, and they were like, "We don't really have anything for you to sign. Would you sign our Crocs for us?" And I was like, "Heck yeah!" Every kid loves their Crocs. Like, that's the most important thing in the world to them, and they want me to sign their Crocs. And it's like, heck yeah! So I signed their Crocs, and here I am. I'm like, I'm a nobody. I just started playing music and didn't really have much of a following. I think it was maybe my second show ever, and these little girls are asking me for my autograph, dude. And it's just, stuff like that, man. That's what makes it all worthwhile. When somebody, I had a guy come to one of my shows a couple weeks ago, and he sat right in the front row of my show the whole time, and I started singing some of my original music, and dude, he started singing it word for word. He knew all my original songs, and I'm like, as I'm singing, I get done with one of the songs. It's like, brother, I saw you. You were singing my song. He said, dude, I listened to your song. That was the one song I had sang for him. He said, I listened to that on my way to work every day. And I was like, wow, dude, that like I it just gives you the goose pimples, just talking about it, man, because it was so awesome that that was the song he chose to listen to, and he said it was my song Better Than Planned.
Hey, that's
And
the one you played on TikTok.
yes, and it's just about a blue collar boy that just wants something a little bit better than he'd asked for. And he said, man, that's all I want too. He said, I work every day and I just want something a little bit better than what I got today. And I was like, man, that's when it becomes real, is when people actually start to believe in you. They start to listen to your stuff, and they see. I've always tried to create the presence, because it's who I am, of my, just being genuine, and everything that I do, from the music I write to the way I perform, the stories that I tell when I'm performing, it's all just me, dude. Like, I don't put on a front. It's not some bull crap that my PR person told me to make up and say while I'm on the mic so people would love me more. It's like, it's real. I've been there, been through it. So
She has one of them power wheel mail trucks, and she has
love it.
climbed on top of the mail truck.
That's hilarious.
Listen, her nickname is Monkey. Has been since day one because she climbs on everything. But anyway, yeah. And I think that I'm gonna hit on what you said. I was listening, I promise. I just didn't want her to get hurt. Um, I think that's why I connected with you so well. It's because a lot of people, even when these artists get on TikTok, they're almost too busy singing to make time for the people that are viewing.
Right.
And I'm not putting anybody down. I'm not. But you made it personal with everybody that was in that chat that night. If you sang a song, you went back and strolled so you could read.
Right.
And that and I
Well, it's hard to do, I guess, if you've got 100,000 people watching you. But yeah, I want to have that personal connection with people, man, because I feel like that's important. And even when I'm out playing in venues and stuff, and hopefully one day I'm playing in front of thousands of people, but I still want to try to connect with those people in every way I can, because in reality, music is music will only be successful for me if it means something to people and if people enjoy it, right? And so, I want the people that enjoy my music to know that I enjoy and appreciate them. I will tell you, when I go out and perform, when I have people that are there that engage with me, that talk to me, they get excited, they cheer, or they say, "Oh man, would you play this song?" Or man, I loved your story that you shared about that song of what happened in your life. I went through something similar. Like, I love that, dude. Like, it just, to me, it's what makes it all meaningful, right? And like you said earlier, I feel like there's a lot of music, which I don't want to bash anyone that's a musician, because I think there's good things in all music, but um, I feel like a lot of times that music lacks that story, or for somebody to be able to tell their story or be personable and be connective for somebody. And so that's really what I try to create when I'm playing and when I write songs. Is it's something that came from me, from one of my experiences, and maybe one day I'll run out of stories to tell, and I might have to write songs about other people, which I've written one song about one of my good friends. But I try to tell things that are true and meaningful, because I feel like when you put that on paper and put music to it, that people will hear it and they're like, wow, that's a story for my life too. Oh, I think you're muted, Willie.
You're right. My bad.
You're
Um,
good.
that is actually something I have something I want to send you and see what you can do with it. I mean,
Okay. Heck yeah.
um, it's kind of raw, rough cut, but um, it's a poem.
Heck yeah, man.
But that's what this is about. What you just talked about. That is what this is about. I want people to see that Soul Impact is how Dalton tells his story. Whether and it not just through your music. I mean, your music is really good, and I'm not saying it's not,
Right.
but it's a way for people to get to know you that know you had to struggle with losing your daughter and for a period of time and struggling with your identity and dealt with depression. You dealt with that, and look where you are now.
Right.
So you know, people get caught up in the woe is me. A lot of, oh man, my life sucks.
Right.
You know, get it. Change your main of thought. Change your way of thought. You almost got to take that stuff captive and just shoo it off.
Right.
A friend of mine, I used to do it really bad. I really did. And every now and then he'll check on me and he's like, "So, have you been doing any of that stinking thinking?" Because that's exactly what it is. When you doubt yourself, you're speaking that doubt into existence. I mean, that's where I want to see a community come together.
Hmm.
Like people that I hear, and I hear your music, and you weren't even on my podcast yet, and I'm already telling people about your music. That is what I want from this. Whether it's you talking about a song that you heard that motivated you, like, you know, or, like my divorce. I'm not going to lie. Everybody laughs at me because during my divorce, as country as I am, my go-to song through my divorce that helped me want to change who I was Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And my family gives me crap, not like horribly, but no, just giving me shit. Family banter back and forth. And they're
Right.
like, not expecting that country boy to do that. I was like, you know what? The message, and that's the thing is with music, you know, there's a song, there's a genre out for every emotion you are feeling. If you're angry and you want to hit something, you're probably going to listen to some heavy rock. You know,
Right. Yeah.
if you're like me and you're sad, sometimes you got to listen to some crying your beer old country. And I'm not going to lie. You know, I have an incident when right after my ex-wife left, I was DJing at a bar and she come in and I DJ slash karaoke. It's mainly karaoke, but if there's not enough people, DJ to fill the time because nobody wants to do the same three people sing over and over and over and over.
Right.
So we had a pretty busy night, and she had come in with a new guy she was hanging out with, and it stung a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, but I got up there and sung Keith Whitley, "I'm Over You." I've never seen one walk out of a bar so fast, and I didn't do it for her.
Right. Right.
I did it because that's where I was at in that point,
Right.
and that Keith Whitley, he was an amazing artist. He really was.
Oh gosh, yes, man.
And the emotion he puts in his music, and that's what emotion to emotion, the storytelling, like you said earlier, that's where it's getting back to it. But so many times is there stories out there because there's a lot of artists that don't write their own stuff, and I'm not knocking those at all, because there's some of them that can get stuff written and submitted, and okay, um, they write their own stuff, and that's great. And there's some that don't. But sometimes, in my opinion, and I'm just a sound guy, but sometimes people struggle to make those songs written for them their own because yeah, they can relate, but they struggle to put the connection there. I mean, and they're talented. I'm not selling them short. I don't want you to think I'm trying to discredit them. But I think it needs to get back to these, and it's getting there. It really is. There's more and more artists starting to write their own stuff again. And I used to call a lot of it pop country. To
Right.
me, it felt like a lot of, you know, certain people have come over to country, and it's like, why did you let them in? I'm sorry, and it may sound a little mean,
Right.
but
Well, that's like Hardy, Hardy just came out with that song Bro Country. I don't know if you've heard it yet, but
I have not.
it's he wrote a song, it's called Bro Country, and he talks about in the he released a video before it, and he played like all of these bro country songs that he sang or he wrote, right, for all these people. And he was like, yeah, it's like the song is basically like, it just ain't you anymore, man. And so he tried to he wrote this song about it and stuff. And I love it, man, seeing people like Zach Top and Billy Strings is more bluegrass, but he's kind of broken into the country music realm and bringing that aspect of country music in. And um, it's so cool to see that transition back to more of a traditional style of country music, which I believe that country music has definitely become um, multi genre. I mean,
Oh,
you've got
absolutely. Dolly
and
Parton is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
yeah,
I
well, I
mean,
mean you look at, I mean that's and that goes to even to the stuff I write, man. I mean, like I feel like some of my songs might be traditional country, but like most of the stuff that I write is sorry if you can hear my kids.
you're good,
Um
buddy. You
most of
can
the
never
stuff
mind.
I most of the stuff that I write, a lot or some of the songs I write are more of country rock type stuff. And but I grew up on Hank Jr. and Waylon Jennings and Charlie Daniels and all those guys, but I also grew up listening to Dr. Hook and Leonard Skinner and the Police and people like that because my dad had classic country or classic rock radio playing 24/7
Can't forget
as
good
a
old
kid.
Bob Seger.
Bob Seger, absolutely. So those things were what we really tried to do the most of, and so I like having a mixture of all of it together.
You just want to be in the podcast. Listen, and it's so funny. I keep coming back to her, and it's so funny because like I have my headphones I wear. I have a sound effect board that I ain't quite figured out yet. So I went back to the old headphone that plugged into the Uh, hold up a minute. Sorry about that. You know.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Uh.
Mine's in the background as well. She said she's got a headache, and that's all I can hear is her crying. She said my head hurts.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
But I'm bribing her. I'm letting her play on YouTube for a little bit. Uh,
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
but and that's the thing is, it's about believing in yourself and believing in what you're doing, not just in yourself. Because you can tell when someone comes into this and they lack it, because it leads into motivation and the lack of. So, you know, I've seen guys and they talented guys, but when it come down to the end of the day, they lacked it. And so, I mean, as being someone, yeah, I consider myself in the music industry because I'm a sound guy, DJ, a jack of all trades. But you've got, at the end of the day, you got to believe in what you do. I mean,
That's
and
right.
if you're someone battling depression, and I'm gonna hit on that, just know, no matter how far you feel down that rabbit hole, there's help. You know, reach out to someone. You're not alone. That's my little mental health announcement there. Just know you're not alone.
Absolutely, man. There's so many people that they don't think about that stuff, man, and it just one phone call.
Oh yeah, and there's so many people though that they put up a front, so you really don't know because they're like, it's sad because they think they're not worth their people's time. You know,
Right.
um, but you know, so with you being in the music industry, what is someone that you not so much want to be like, but their music style that you kind of strive to be close to?
Mm. Well, I'll tell you one of my favorite musicians, or bands, really all time is Charlie Daniels.
Ooh, that man could
Lo-
pick.
Man, I love Charlie, dude. He could pick, he could sing, he could play multiple instruments. He played the strings off a fiddle. Um, and I just always loved him. I can remember as a kid, I had his greatest hits on CD, and I listened to that CD over and over and over and over and over again. And I
I
think
wore a
the way,
CD out.
oh gosh, man, yeah, I think that from his style compared to my style was, there's a lot of similarities. He had a little bit kind of a little bit different voice, but the songs that he wrote were kind of, you know, Some of them kind of perked up those questions that made people think and stuff like that. And then also he'd write some good songs that just reach out and grab you. And then he had some funny, silly songs. And, I try to do all that. I want to be fun, have a good time, laugh and cut up. And then at the same time, I want to be able to sing those serious songs too that make people, kind of feel where you're coming from.
But he stayed true to who he was. That was
That's
what was
right.
so great about Charlie Daniels. I
Mm-hmm.
saw him. He was 82 years old, so the year before he died,
Mm-hmm.
over here in Missouri. I had won tickets. I got to see him, uh, Travis Tritt, and Cadillac 3.
Wow. I
Hands,
bet that was awesome.
hands down the best concert I've ever been to. But Charlie Daniels made it. Not that Travis Tritt wasn't great. I'm a huge Travis Tritt fan. But, you know, Charlie Daniels, he didn't care what people thought about who he was. He got up there and played How Great Thou Art in a sold out arena, and there's a guy that sat 2 rows back from me booing him because he was playing religious music. And he simply stated, "That's not why we're here. We're here to hear me sing, not you boo." And the dude kept on. So he actually stuck to his value and made the man leave. I mean, I'm like,
That's awesome.
82 years old and still stay true to who he was.
Right.
And I bet, that stuff, his music was great. Another one is Johnny Cash. You know, if I was to ever be able to play and like I wanted to, that was my person. That was the style I wanted. I wanted Johnny Cash's style, because he could write these songs and, you know,
He had that voice too, man.
that I shot a woman down and, a boy named Sue. I mean, come on. Who in the world would think of a song, A Boy Named Sue?
Right. Right.
But,
Or one piece at a time.
uh, yeah, I mean, and I'm not knocking anyone. Like,
Yeah.
there's Zach Top. You mentioned his. Uh,
Yep.
I Don't Lie. I love that song.
Yep. Oh, he's amazing. He is an
Yeah.
amazing artist, dude. Vocally, on the guitar, and his songs are just great, written great. He comes from bluegrass too, so he's got a bluegrass background. I mean, he's just got the full package, in my opinion, as an
Oh,
artist.
oh yeah. He's got, and I can see it in you, and you really do, the diversity in your voice. I heard it that night on TikTok. Yes, you played so many different genres, but yet you made every one of them your own, but you stayed true to the music. So it wasn't like you played the Eagles and made it country. You know. So
Sorry, my little one dropped a thing on her toe.
well, while you do what you do, I'm going to take a minute and talk about my sponsor, Kill Some Dead Air.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh,
Sorry.
no, you're good, buddy. I'm just going to do this to full air or dead time. If y'all are looking for shirts or hey dudes or anything, look up Kingdom Creation. There's that phone number, 573-680-085. Get a hold of Bill. He does really good work. he made the shirt that I have on for the. He's one of my sponsors, and I'm thankful to have him aboard. So if you got time, go look him up. You can find him on Facebook. Uh,
All right. Sorry about that, man.
you're good, buddy. I was just clearing. I was just killing time. Now you dealt
She
with your
dropped
little one. Family comes first.
she dropped this little metal, or like, I don't know even what it is, porcelain or something, but it's like a book stop. She dropped it on her toe, and her little toe was bleeding, so she was losing her mind. You okay now? It's all right.
Oh,
Yes, she's gonna. Mommy's gonna give you a kiss for it. Well, just like hold on, just a minute. She's gonna let you in. Okay. It's okay, man. I tell you what, kids, I love them. I love them all so much. And she was over here. She was messing with some stuff she wasn't supposed to be, and she dropped it off on her toe. Is what happened. Isn't that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, that's why we got to leave that stuff alone. Be like, be like Jamie Johnson. You got to leave that stuff alone.
that's right.
Oh man, but you know, music is so. I guess, like we've said many times, man, it's just so much fun. I've enjoyed it, and I'm just enjoying it more and more every day because I meet great people and get to talk with folks like you, and just it's been so cool just to really experience. I mean, heck, you're up there in Missouri, and here I am down in Jacksonville, Alabama. We're good, probably, shoot, I don't even know how far, at least probably 12 hours apart. Um, and here we are chatting and talking about music.
Oh, absolutely. And we discovered each other on TikTok.
TikTok, that's right,
I
man.
mean, and I'm not knocking TikTok, but that just goes to show if you're into music, there's so many different ways. You don't have someone reaching out to you, getting your label. Make your own. Make your
Yeah,
own recordings. Uh, and I know a lot of people. I'm a DJ. If you're an artist and you want someone to play your music, get a hold of me. We'll work out some details. And plus, I have this other podcast I'm a part of. It's called Sound Noise or Love Noise. Sorry, it's called Love Noise, and we actually take up and coming artists and we put three of their songs on and we bring them on so they can actually talk. Like we'll play a song and they'll kind of tell us where the song come from, and then there's three of us that co-host it. None of us in the same area, and then we tell the artist what we think about the song, what we didn't like. We just basically critique it right there on the spot. And that's another thing I would love to get up with you and have you on. Um,
heck yeah, man. You know, I've seen a lot of that here lately. I think it's awesome where folks actually go and they do music pitching, and you get on the show and you pitch your music, and then there's basically like either one person there or a group of people, and they just kind of give you feedback on the song. Oh, it's great, it's wonderful. You should, record it or whatever it may be. I think that's awesome.
yeah, well, actually, the first episode we did, it was with Bubba Starts, and which he's the owner of the Scene Project, which I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of a privilege because I was actually able to hear some of his unrecorded stuff that he has wrote,
Oh wow.
because he kind of put his music on his side a little bit to focus on his podcast stuff. So it was kind of cool that we have become best friends. So it was kind of cool. I got to actually critique my best friend.
Right.
Um, but yeah,
That's awesome.
I want to thank you, Dalton, for coming on here.
Heck yeah, man.
I look
Thank you for
forward to
having
getting
me.
I look forward to getting to know you better, buddy, and maybe getting you up here to these backwoods, seeing what I can't do. I mean,
We
see what we can work out. I do a lot of festivals, and not
Well, I
making
know
it. Go
it.
ahead.
It
Sorry.
no, I was just going to say, man, I would love it. You know, my wife and I, we've rolled the idea around of selling everything we got and buying a camper and traveling and playing music all over. We've talked about that. You know, on a couple of occasions, and I just don't know if I'm ready to bite the bullet on it yet. But I'd love to go and see some new places and different things, and you know, play music in other states and other areas. So heck yeah, I'd be open to
When you're ready, buddy, I ain't gonna lie. That's an open invitation. I'm not gonna put my address on here. No, I'm not. No, but
it.
you get a hold of me and let me know in advance. We'll have a barbecue and have the Dalton Jones show in my backyard. You know,
Sounds good with me.
but again, I want to thank you so much. Why don't you tell everybody again where they can find you?
Yeah, so you know, I'm on all the streaming platforms. For we've got several songs on Spotify and Amazon, iTunes, you name it. The streaming services out there, we're on all of them. We use mass distribution, so we've got music everywhere. YouTube Music too. Um, Also, you can also find us on Bands in Town, which is an app to track like all of our shows and different things. Most of our stuff's here local in Alabama, but would love to see some of you folks there. And if you want to check us out on socials too, we're on all the TikTok and Facebook and all that. It's either Dalton Jones Music or Dalton Jones Official on all of those.
And if you need either one of those, you can reach out to me. I have both. No, I have all three of them: YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Um, and if you hear this and you can relate to Dalton, look him up. Listen to his music. I mean, this is what this is about. This is about encouraging one another, helping. We are the wheels behind this car that's going to help this car move as us as listeners and consumers. We got to support one another. Uh, like-minded
Absolutely.
people has got to connect. I mean, and I've not met you in person, but the way we have talked and messaged and bullcrapped on TikTok, you know, we're definitely gonna have to explore that. Get you up. Like I said, I DJ a lot and I work a lot, so I don't know that I can leave the state very much. So I work home health, I do my DJing, I do a podcast, then I'm a single parent, so I don't have a whole lot of. Oh, and I'm remodeling a house, so I don't have a whole lot of free time.
No, man, that's a lot. Sounds like me, man. I still work my full time and do some things on the side besides music. So I'm right there with you. I feel it.
So if someone wants to buy some apparel, can they buy apparel?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want a hat like this one, so you can. We have a website. It is called. It's djma.myspreadshirt.com. I do believe.
Well,
Let me pull it up and double
when you get
check
that
that.
link, send it to me and I'll post it in your description video when I post it.
Yeah, it's DJMA, so that's Dalton Jones Music Apparel abbreviated .myspreadshop.com, and you can go on there. We've got everything from hats to t-shirts to koozies to aprons for cooking at your barbecue grill to even dog bandanas. So there's a little bit of everything on there.
So do y'all make it or is it sublet it out?
Yeah, so it's subletted out. I have a company that they're really fantastic. It's all print on demand stuff. So pretty much when you order it, it's printed for you right then, and it just makes it easier for me because I don't have to worry about peddling T-shirts and doing all that kind of stuff. I just want people to just get what they want, buy it, and you're good.
So do you? And this is me sparking my interest here. Do you get a percentage of the sales, or how does that?
Yeah, so I do. So it's not a whole lot, but we get us, basically they give us a percentage of each sale, and we just take that and I reinvest all that right back into our music, man. Whether it's recording or what have you, um, it's just all reinvested right back into it.
Right on. Well, I'm gonna let you go, buddy. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
I'll need you to hang around for just a minute so this thing can finish up. But y'all don't go check him out. I mean, he puts a lot of passion into his music. Go like, follow, and subscribe to his page. And if you ain't doing mine and you see it because of him, do the same for me. Let's help grow this, help grow his music, help grow the podcast. That's what this is about.
Heck
And
yeah,
again,
man.
Dalton, I want to thank you so much, buddy. I appreciated the time.
Absolutely, dude. Now, I appreciate you for having me and for letting me be here and hang out with you this evening. And it's been a lot of fun, man.